Hello and welcome to Joy's World, the podcast. My name is Joy, and first of all, I'd just like to say, if you're listening to this, whoop whoop, big up yourself. You've chosen a good one. I decided to start this podcast because it's just something that I've always wanted to do, and I've kind of been procrastinating and I haven't been on track. And now I've come to a point where I'm just like, do you know what? Fuck it. Start a podcast, Joy. You want to do it, so just do it. So here we are. First and foremost, I just want to go into a little bit about who I am, why I'm here, why I think you should listen to this podcast. Because you might be like, oh, this girl's boring me, I'm going to switch off now. Hold your horses, okay? Because calm down, okay? All right, so basically, as I said, my name's Joy, I'm 24, I am a mother. It's weird saying that. I'm a mother, and my daughter's almost 3. And I still find it weird to be like, I'm a mum, yeah. But yeah, I'm a mum, a young mum, a heart mum. And I really enjoy that. I love that. I also have a visual impairment. I have something called chronic uveitis, and it's basically inflammation in the back of the eye. And I've had it since I was 4. My journey's been quite funny because when I first started losing my vision, I was really embarrassed about it. And I'm going to go into that later on in the podcast to talk about that journey of losing your sight from a teenager to an adult, kind of trying to hide it in school. You know, I used to just link arms with my friends. I never used to use a cane, and now I'm 24. I'm like the total opposite. You're going to see me in the club with my stick, waving it up in the air like I just don't care. Seriously, that's what I'm like. I just feel like, you know what, I embrace it now. It's part of who I am. But when you're a teenager, no one wants to be different. So that's me. I decided to do 5 things you need to know about me. So as you listen to this podcast, you're going to learn a lot about me. And I mean a lot. Details that my mum shouldn't know. So mum, don't listen to this podcast. Mum, if you're thinking of listening, don't listen. Mum, turn it off. Mum, go and cook some food, please. Just don't listen to this because it's not for your ears. Okay. So basically, 5 things you need to know about me. First of all, is I love Beyonce. So if you don't like Beyonce, okay, I was going to say, if you don't like Beyonce, don't listen to the podcast, but I'm lying. I am lying. If you still listen, I will convert you. Don't worry. I will convert you. You'll be a Beyonce lover. Don't worry. Okay. The second thing you need to know about me is I also love Wendy Williams. Just saying. # just saying. I know a lot of people think, nah, she's a bit controversial, but you know me, I love her. How you doing? How you doing, Wendy? I love her. The third thing you need to know about me is I love music. Okay, so each episode I'm gonna do my top 2 tracks of the week that I feel like you should go listen to, and it'll give you either energy or inspiration. Okay, that's what I'm all about. Energy or inspiration. I love music so much. Someone was cussing me today about my music taste, but listen, I listen to a wide range of music, from dance hall to hip hop to musical theatre. I love it all. Okay, at bedtime I listen to classical music. And here, don't judge me. Okay. I can't remember what number I'm on. This is really bad. The full thing you need to know about me is that I am living my best life, okay? I'm at a point where, literally, I don't feel like, and this is not a test, guys, so don't try and cuss me, but I feel like there's nothing anyone can really say to me right now that is going to get me down anymore. I've been at the bottom, so now the only way is up, baby. Shout out to the Only Way is Essex. I don't even watch that, but that's their theme tune. Literally, I'm living my best life. I'm starting to appreciate what I have, the people I have around me. Shout out to you. If you're my friend and I love you, then you know I love you. And not my friend, I've got one. My friends, plural, then you know I love you. And I feel like we should all be living our best life. And I hope the fifth thing about me is that I hope that this podcast brings you some joy. My mum named me Joy because she had a joyful pregnancy and a joyful birth. And I'm a joyful person. Well, we'll get into that, but I haven't always been a joyful person, but I'm a joyful person now, especially when I've had some rosé, hey ho. I like rosé, I like prosecco, I like vodka, I like rum, I like gin. Actually, my friend, shout out to Chloe, my white friend, she got me onto gin. I never really drunk gin before, but you know, the only thing I don't like is beer, but I will drink beer. Like, if there's nothing else in the world and there's beer, trust me, I'll drink it, but it's not my first choice. Basically, I don't really drink tequila either. I've had tequila shots. Anyways, sorry, I'm going off track. But I'm just saying, basically, I like alcohol. So if anyone wants to get me any alcohol, please feel free. Feel absolutely free. The first thing I want to get into properly, because this is it. This is the podcast, guys. This is me chatting absolute shit, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about, because I kind of want to get it out of the way. And also I have 2 friends at the moment that are pregnant. And I just really want to quickly talk about my pregnancy and my labour. Whew. And I will be graphic. It's not going to be gruesome. Don't worry. Just calm down, everyone. You all came out of a vagina. Just calm down, okay? It's not going to be gruesome, but I'm being really honest. So I have nothing to hide. If you have anything in your life that you need to hide, then you shouldn't have been doing it, really. But anyways, my pregnancy with my daughter, Janelle, was really difficult. I had hyperemesis, which is what they say. Oh, what's her name? What's her face? Oh my God, I've forgotten it. Kate Middleton. That's what Kate Middleton had, yeah. It's just extreme sickness during pregnancy. So, people talk about morning sickness. Obviously, morning sickness is not just in the morning, just in case you guys are stupid and you don't know that, but obviously you know that. But this hyperemesis is like anything. And listen, I'm a big girl, okay? I like food, okay? Let's be honest, I like food, yeah? When I tell you, I was losing weight during my pregnancy. I couldn't eat anything. Everything I ate, just wasn't staying down. So that was an awful, awful, awful pregnancy. I don't know how I got through it, if I'm honest. I remember crawling on my hands and knees to the bathroom to throw up. I had no energy. I had to go to hospital 5 times to get fluid because I was dehydrated so badly. It was awful. And I remember one time I went to the hospital with my sister. I was in A&E and was waiting, and my sister was sitting there and she was telling me about a story about a woman that she was speaking to, and she was like, oh yeah, she had hyperemesis and she's got 3 kids now. And I remember looking at her and I was just like, do you think I would ever go through this again? And now I'm like, yeah, I'll have another baby. But at that time, just her even mentioning the fact that someone had 3 children, I was like, really? You don't understand how I feel like I'm gonna die. So if you have hyperemesis and you're pregnant right now, I totally feel for you. Just if you're pregnant, I feel for you because you can't drink, and that's really sad, okay? It's a sad state of affairs. So I had a really bad pregnancy. So hear how this child now decided she wanted to just pop into the world. So I was at home in my bedroom. I remember I had 1Extra in the background. I love 1Extra. Shout out to 1Extra. I remember it was Charlie Sloth, actually. And if you know Charlie Sloth's voice, it's not really... It wasn't calming. It wasn't soothing. But, I was just in bed. Anyways, I remember rolling around my bedroom floor as the labour was coming on. And my mum came and she was there. And I was like, okay, it's getting worse now. It's getting worse. I remember calling the hospital. And all the midwife would say to me was... Joy, you're better off at home. It's the best place for you. If you come into hospital and you're not in labour, we're going to send you home. So stay at home as long as you can. That's what she said to me. I'm like, okay. Mans can't breathe. Feels like I'm going to die. So I'm rolling around my bedroom floor. Okay. And basically, I got to a point where I remember listening to a pregnancy podcast actually and watching things on YouTube, and there's a point where someone said when you're in labour there's a point where you feel like you're losing your mind. And when I was rolling on my bedroom floor, I got to that point where I was like, I was doing squats, guys. Okay, I was doing squats. Okay, me and my big body doing squats. No, squats is not for me. But I was doing squats. That's how I knew I was going mad, because I'm like, nah, Joy, why are you squatting? Just spontaneously squatting, because I just wanted to get this baby out. And when you're pregnant and when you're in labour, it doesn't feel like it's coming out of your vagina. It feels like you're having a big poo, okay? So to my girls who are having babies, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're going to have a poo. That was my experience anyway. So basically, felt like I needed a big poo. I remember mum going like, no, Joy, we need to go to hospital now. And I'm like, I can't go, because I kept weeing. Like, by the way, when you're like in labour, you just wee. Everything comes out, okay? And so like, I was like, I need to poo. I can't go in the cab. She's like, Joy, just shut up. Put these knickers on, and like, we're getting in the cab now. So we get in a cab. I remember getting in the cab. The driver's like, hello, love, you're all right? And I remember just grunting like, just like, don't speak to me. And my mum was like, oh, she's having a baby, because my mum didn't want to worry the driver. Do you know what I mean? So basically, I remember we was driving. He was like, okay, I'll get you there quickly. Driving. I'm like, literally I can't breathe. I'm dying. My head's out the window because I was really hot. People on the street like walking past. It was dark, but I could hear them, and they must have thought, what the hell? So literally, we turned onto the road. I remember saying to Mum, where are we? She's like, we've turned on the road to the hospital. Boom, my water's broke. Back of the cab. Okay, all right, cool. We parked outside the hospital. My mum gets out the cab. She goes into the hospital to get me like a wheelchair or to get some help. I don't know what she was getting. To be honest. The cab driver comes round, a lovely guy who's called Tarek. Shout out to you, Tarek. And he opened the door, and I remember him saying, give me your hand. And I went to stand up. Oh, Jesus. I was like, I can't. I literally laid back in the cab. My legs are out of the car door. I laid back on the seat. I pushed 3 times. And I remember thinking of EastEnders and just being like, remember, push with each contraction. That's what I remember. And 1 born every minute. Don't watch that show. But yeah, it gave me a little bit of, insight. But yeah, like, I remember pushing 3 times. She was out. And she was only being held up by my knickers that my mum told me to put on, because the way I was feeling, I didn't care about no knickers at that time. By the time my mum came out, baby's in my knickers, and she's like, oh my God. Mind you, my mum never panics. She's very calm and collective. Like, she doesn't panic. And I remember she was like to the driver, give me the towel. She tried to put the towel around the baby. She was still in my knickers though. Then the midwives come out and all the A&E people come out. There's about 5 of them. And I remember the midwife going like, hi Joy, I'm Miranda. And she's like, don't panic. I'm thinking, well, I wasn't panicking until you come and said don't panic, because I wasn't panicking. Because I heard Janelle cry. She did a little cry, and I put my hand down there because I was like, no, I didn't just give birth in the cab. I put my hand down there, and her whole little hand grabbed my finger, my index finger. And I remember that moment so clearly. It was amazing. And so I wasn't worried because I knew she was all right, because she made a noise like she had cried. And then so I remember them being like, give me the scissors. And then the other nurse was like, but they're not sterilised. She was like, I'm not going to cut the cord, I'm going to cut the knickers first. So basically she cut them, and they was like, we need to take the baby inside because it's really cold. It was December. And so I was like to my mum, watch the baby, because obviously I remember these EastEnders when, do you remember when when Ronnie swapped her baby with cats? Nah, you ain't doing that to me. I'm like, Mum, use your eyesight and watch the baby, innit? Then they're trying to get me out of the cab, and they're trying to hide my placenta, because my placenta was sticking out, and you're trying to hide it. And I'm thinking, babes, I've just given birth. Why are you trying to hide it now? Don't try to hide the placenta. It's there. There was people outside the hospital watching. There was the other cab drivers started beeping when they saw them take the baby in, and they were like, Mum, is it a boy or a girl? You know what I mean? They was like, it was great. It was like an audience. So I get in the wheelchair now, and they're like, yeah, baby's fine. We just have to keep her warm, blah, blah, blah. Walked me up to the labour ward, and then the same midwife that was on the phone that was like, don't come in now. Don't come in unless you're in labour. She's like, hi, Joy, nice to meet you. I'm really sorry that I didn't meet you before. But shut up, don't talk to me. I was like, It's all right. But I tell you, ladies, this is for my ladies. Guys, if you're listening to this, I'm really sorry. But this is for the girls, yeah. I am really surprised that I managed to give birth. No painkillers, not even a paracetamol. Yeah, like nothing. I was really surprised because I was like begging for a C-section. I was like, I can't give birth. I'm blind. They looked at me and was like, Joy, shut up. They was like, literally, the doctor was like, Joy, you're fine. You're young. You're relatively fit. I'm not fit, but he's like, you're relatively fit. There's no need for you to have a C-section, like unless there's a complication. I was like, oh, okay. So I was terrified to give birth, and she just popped out. She just flew out. Okay, so just don't worry about it. If you're pregnant right now and you happen to be listening to this, honestly, don't worry about it. Like, just go with your body. My body told me to push. I pushed. I don't know if I was 10 centimeters dilated, 5 centimeters, 2 centimeters. I don't know. I don't care. I just pushed because I needed to push. I'll tell you what hurt more was they gave me gas and air when I got up to the labour ward so that they could check if I needed stitches. Now, that was painful. I didn't like gas and air. It made everything feel more intense, actually. And then she was checking me, and it was just so painful. She's like, you've got a tiny tear, but I'm going to get my other colleague to look, just in case we don't need to stitch it. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So now I've got some next woman now fingering me up. Do you know what I mean? And this was not a nice fingering, guys. Do you know what I mean? This was not nice. It was so painful. Then they was like, no, you're fine. So I just snap back. So yeah, that was my labour story. I find it really interesting. Honestly, shit that's happened in my life is just a joke. I should write a book, but I'm a bit stupid, so I thought I'd make a podcast instead. But do you know what? That's that. And I feel like it's really important for especially young women to know that, like, it's so scary, the thought of like giving birth, having a baby. And I'm telling you, I was freaking out. I was so nervous. My whole pregnancy, I'm like, how? I said, I used to think, I cry when I get a paper cut. I can't give birth. And you know what? It just happens. At the end of the day, the baby has to come out one way or another. So you either have to drop it or they have to cut it out. But either way, the baby's coming out, innit? So good luck. Good luck, guys. But just listen to your body and you will be fine. So on each episode of this podcast, I am going to give you a tip of the week. So this week's tip is going to be, stop being scared. Don't be scared. Like, whatever it is that you want to do that's kind of like holding you back, or you're a bit nervous, or you're like, oh, I'm not sure. The tip for this week is to just do something that you are scared of, or that you feel like you're not good enough for. Just do it. It's time for the songs of the week. So this week, the 2 songs that I have been banging out, that I'm saying, like, when I'm on the way to like pick Janelle up from nursery, got one headphone in, obviously because I'm blind. I can't have 2 headphones in because then I'll be deaf and blind, and that's just not good. But yeah, the songs that I've been listening to this week. So the first one is called I Can Remember, and I think it's by Young T and Bugsy. Love that song. Go listen to it. If you don't know, then go listen. It's really good. It makes me want to shake it. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot to shake, so I want to shake it. Song number 2, Don't Judge Me. But listen, look, I don't even care if you judge me, to be honest. Ariana Grande, Sweetener. I love that song. Janelle loves that song. It's off her new album. I can't remember what it's called. But hey, she's not paying me for advertisement, so I don't care. But yeah, Sweetener, it's really, really good. Listen to that song. It makes you feel happy. Okay, guys? Happy. Be happy. Sorry, why am I talking like that? Imagine if I spoke like that. Be happy. Anyways, yeah, so those are my 2 songs. I Caramba by Young T and Bugsy, and Sweetener by Ariana Grande. Go listen to them songs. They'll make you happy. They're going to make you dance. And most of all, they're going to make you think of me. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the first ever episode of Joy's World, the podcast. If you want to get in touch with me because you want to get me some alcohol, hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is JoyAXEX. I think. Just type that in. If you don't see me, then it was wrong, but that's what I think it is. But yeah, thank you for listening to the first episode. Stay tuned, because the next episode, I promise you, I will not be talking about my vagina or given birth. I'll be talking about getting ready for Halloween, going out, and I'm going to a Halloween party, and I think I'm going to be dressed as a sexy devil, but I'm not really sexy, and I'm not a devil. So I don't know how this is going to actually pan out, but that's why you need to stay tuned, because that's what's going to be happening in episode 2 of Joy's World. Thank you so much. Stay happy. Live your best life.